guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to film this video. Like the title says, we're going to be reading for 24 hours. However, we are not reading for 24 hours straight because I just do not have the time to be doing that. I'm going to have a timer on my phone and we're just going to kind of see how many books I get to within 24 hours. I specifically wanted to do this because I think I'm kind of on the edge of a book slump, which I really don't want. Like I don't want to be in it, and I know you guys don't want to see me in a book slump. So unfortunately, the culprit, first time caller, I mentioned this in my last video. If you guys watched it, you already know why. In case you didn't know, this book is based off of Sleepless in Seattle, and I was so in it. Like, I was so in it maybe the first 30 pages up until I think I was on page 140 or around 140, I think. I was just like, let's get to the point. I completely understand a slow burn. I like a slow burn sometimes, but this is like such a slow burn to where I don't even see or feel the chemistry between the two characters. Like, you can have a slow burn, but you can also have chemistry. I do not see any chemistry between the two characters. Like, there is nothing happening, zero things happening. It was boring me. Like, I was so bored. So I ended up trying to find an audiobook on Spotify, which thankfully they had it. It's much more bearable to listen to rather than read for me, because I'm just like, let's get to the point. I want to know what happens, but I'm just not like, these characters I am not down bad for, you know? So honestly, those are my thoughts right now on First Time Caller. I'm finally to the part where I sense something is going to happen now. Finally. And y'all, I'm on chapter 18 on page 212, and I think when I updated my Goodreads last, it was 47% through. I don't know. You guys let me know if you're reading this. I know this is a pretty popular book right now, and a lot of people have been picking this up, so really interested to know if this is on your radar, if you're currently reading it, what you thought about it. Because I'm mainly probably just going to listen to it on audiobook, I might pick it up and read a couple pages here and there from the actual physical copy. But I think for now, I think I'm just going to be listening to it while I'm doing like my other tasks. It's going to be like my audiobook. Maybe I will pick up another physical book and then my Kindle read right now. I am probably 5 years late to the game. I'm currently reading Hooked by Emily McIntire. Emily McIntire. I think that's how you say her last name. I hate mispronouncing things, so hopefully that's how you say her last name. So this is the first book in the Never After novel. Now, Hooked specifically, it's like a reimagined Peter Pan, but dark romance. So if you're into dark romance, you'll probably really like this. I needed a book specifically because I needed something fun. I needed something fun and something so unrealistic, and that's exactly why I picked this up. Obviously, this has been on my radar for years, and I don't know why I just never thought to pick it up and read it. Can you guys even see it? It's pretty dark. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, there are quite a few books in this series, so I'm actually really excited to start this book. I am currently only 14% through, and so far I'm actually really liking it. I know this book was on basically everybody's radar like a few years ago, so if you've read it, please let me know if you enjoyed it or if you enjoyed the series as a whole. I don't know if it's a completed series or if she's still coming out with more. I believe I did see Hexed, but I don't know if Hexed is new or if it's her last one. I have zero clue, zero idea, but you guys let me know. So like I was saying, it's basically a reimagined Peter Pan story, and our main character is Hook. Captain Hook. I honestly just love her mind, like Miss Emily's mind of making villains the main characters. I'm obsessed with that idea, and I honestly feel like Disney as a whole should make more movies like how they did Maleficent. Ate it up. Like, I love that movie. Anyway, going back to the story, while I was reading it, I can't help but think and picture in my mind Hook from the Once Upon a Time series. I never actually ended up finishing it, but this is making me want to go back and watch it. I think I only watched up until season 3 or 4. This was a long time ago. I want to say this series, if you guys know the series I'm talking about, I want to say it was at least 10 years ago. I wonder where I can even watch it. It's on Hulu. Someone tell me. I think I might go outside and read a little bit. Y'all, it is 78 degrees outside. In my last video, I'm pretty sure I was complaining about how cold it was, and now it's suddenly 78 degrees, and I'm not understanding. Like, I'm complaining if it's too cold, and I'm also complaining if it's too warm, but like, I just need a good middle ground. I need like a good 68. 78 is pushing it a little bit, but nevertheless, we're gonna go outside. I'm so excited for this challenge. Let's go ahead and start our timer, and let's get into it. So it's been 6 hours since I last checked in with you guys, so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. I actually got a lot of reading done last night as well as a little bit this morning. Currently, I am 43% through with Hooked, and I had some updates to give you guys at the 35% mark, but I was reading with my lights off and I was like cozied up in bed with my Kindle, you know the vibes. So I wrote down my thoughts, so I just wanted to reiterate them to you. So what I love about Hooked so far is that the female main character is very strong. She doesn't back down on anything, like she speaks her mind. I love that about her. However, at the 35% mark, the male main character asks her a question in a scenario. Walk with me because I'm trying not to give you guys spoilers. He asks her a question and she automatically says yes. And I was so disappointed because I'm like, you don't even know this man. You don't know anything about him and you automatically said yes. If you have read this book, it was at the end of chapter 15. That way you know what I'm talking about. But I was just so disappointed because I was like, girl, stand up. You were doing so well. And then crumpled. I feel like I don't know what else to expect from this. I'm not that disappointed because honestly, it's so unrealistic and I know that, but I just wanted a little bit more of like make him work for it, you know? Those are my thoughts on Hooked. As far as First Time Caller goes, I've been both listening and reading to it, and right now I am, I believe, at the 80% mark. Yeah, I'm at 81%. I don't know how I still have 2.5 hours left. Like, please, let's get to the freaking point. I'm so sick. I am so sick. I'm at chapter 27, and the thing that is making me really annoyed is that they both know that they like each other. Everyone around them knows that they like each other, but they aren't together. And it's just, like, what is he gonna take? What's it gonna take? So yeah, that is my one gripe with this book. I feel like that's honestly the theme of this book. I know I can easily DNF, but y'all, like, it's not, like, as an audiobook, it's not that bad. I would highly suggest the audiobook. Reading it, it really does just drag on. Audiobook though, whoever's narrating it is doing an incredible job. I think my other filler with this book is that wait, what did I just say? My one other issue with this book is that I feel like there's so much filler content, like so many side events that are happening that are so not important to the book. So it's really making me wonder if I'm the problem because I've seen so many reviews that are like 4 or 5 stars. I don't think it's gonna be a 4 or a 5 star for me, obviously not a 5 star, but I don't even think I could give it 4 stars. I don't know how it's gonna end. Maybe the ending will change that, but for now I really am settling on a 3, which I'm really sad about because I was so excited about this book. Those are my updates right now. I'm going to keep reading and see how much further we can get, and then I'll update you guys in a bit. I'm at the 43% mark. I just finished chapter 19, and going back to the part where I was like, you literally know nothing about this man, she does acknowledge just now that she knows nothing about him. Growth. I love that Wendy is self-aware. I love that for her. Guys, I feel like we haven't sat down and done an update in a minute, so let's do that. So currently we have 13 hours left of this 24-hour challenge. So as of now, we've read for 11 hours. Like you saw, I finished First Time Caller. I think I'm gonna leave all of my reviews at the end of the video, but nothing was surprising to me about this book. I will go ahead and say that. The only time I actually ever read it during this challenge was when I showed you guys. Otherwise, I was listening to it as an audiobook, and the audiobook was so much better than reading it. Like I've said before, I don't think I would be able to make it if I was just reading it. I think I definitely would have DNF'd it completely. With that being said, the ending was not surprising to me. It was pretty predictable, and I feel like a lot of these problems would have been solved if they had just communicated. It was that easy and that simple. That was the key to this book. I needed more drama that made sense. Like sense-worthy drama is what I needed from this, and it just was not giving what I thought it was gonna give. Now, speaking of drama, Hooked truly has me hooked. Like, this has been such a fun read for me, and I am breezing through it. Currently, I am at, I think, 84%. Oh, I'm at 87%. Hopefully we can probably finish this in maybe an hour, I feel like. So I was thinking we could finish it together. It's so fast paced and it makes me want to know what is going to happen. The chapters aren't too long and there's always something going on that isn't leaving me wanting more. And because there's always something happening, I don't feel bored. Like, I just want to keep reading. I also want to know if you guys read Hooked, because again, I know I am so late to this series. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone's already finished it. I need to know, like, did you like this? Like, would you read it again? I made a matcha. Not the good quality matcha. This matcha powder is from Costco because the prices of matcha, like the good ones in the tin, are atrocious right now. So I'm just not, no. So I'm sufficing with the Costco, and honestly, it's not that bad. so it's the next day. I just wanted to give you guys an update of what I thought about Hooked. I loved it. I'm pretty sure I said that in my last update when I previously talked about Hooked, but overall it was just such a fun and entertaining read. Like, I loved it so much more than I thought I was gonna love it. I rated it a 4 stars simply because it served its purpose. I wanted a really fun read and it's exactly what it gave me. A lot of the twists were predictable, but some of them really got me. There was one that I did not expect at all, and for that reason, 4 stars. I feel like if I had guessed everything, maybe it would have been a 3.5, but overall, an incredible read. If you want something fun and something to get you out of your reading slump, I highly recommend starting the Never After series. I'm really excited about the next book. I don't know if I'm going to read it right now, maybe in a few months or maybe next month, but loved it. I'm pretty sure the next series or the next book in the series is about Mufasa, which is so cool. Like, what the heck? And it's like a dark royal romance. Hello. And based off of the other reviews that I've seen, a lot of people actually like Scarred way better than they liked Hooked, which has me really excited because I loved Hooked. So I can't wait to get to the next book in the series. Okay, so I think for my next book, I actually let my boyfriend choose. I gave him 3 options, one being Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. The second option that I gave him was The Favorites because I have seen so many people rave about it, so I'm really excited to get to it. The third option I gave him was Swift and Saddled, which is the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and he ended up choosing, I really thought he was gonna pick Rock, Paper, Scissors, but he actually ended up picking Swift and Saddled because he really liked the cover of the book. So we are going to be reading that. I'm so excited to read Swift and Saddled because I'm just so excited to get through the entire series as a whole. I believe the 4th book comes out in April, so if I could get the series done by the time the new book comes out, that would be awesome. I'm also very excited about Teddy's book because she just seems like such a badass character. Like, I'm so excited for hers, which I believe is the 3rd book. The only thing that I know so far about Swift and Saddled is that it follows Weston Ryder, which is one of the Ryder siblings, and I believe he has some sort of romance going on with the interior designer that Teddy called over to help with his little ranch renovation that he's doing. So yeah, very excited. I brewed some peppermint tea. So grab a book, get cozy, and let's do some reading. So after that last clip of the heating pad, my cramps were truly demolishing me to the point where I take my makeup off and go to sleep because I could not focus on the words that were written on this page. Even though I took some medicine and, you know, ate food and thought like I would be fine, but for some reason, I truly felt like I was in a whole nother dimension. I'm feeling so much better now, so we're gonna keep going with this video. Currently, I'm at 11 hours and 43 minutes. It's currently 4:24, so I don't really think I'm going to be able to read the full 11 hours today, so it's probably gonna go into tomorrow as well. But I'm on page 39, very beginning stages of the book. I have quite literally nothing to update on, so we're gonna keep on reading. Say with a lot of her books, love them to pieces, but they are very insta-lovey, which is the one thing that I probably don't like about it. Like, they fall in love with each other just by, like, breathing the same air. Like, that's it. That's all it takes for them to fall in love. That's it. That's all I have to say. Chapter 14, and my thoughts right now, basically the main female character's name is Ada and the guy's name is Wesley, and Ada has this like connotation of Wesley being an F-boy just because the first time that they met, she's the one who kissed him. This is not a spoiler, by the way. I'm pretty sure this is on the back of the book. She kissed him the first time that she saw him. Well, she basically lured him in, right? And they like kissed. She has this thought that he's an F-boy because he did that. But she's the one who made the move, which is very confusing because I feel like he's already done so much that would make you not think that he is one, but I understand because of her past that she just has no faith in boys. I completely get it. But what I will say is Wesley, okay, his name is not even Wesley. I'm literally saying his name wrong. His name is Weston, but people call him Wes. He seems like such a golden retriever, but when it comes to her, he has to like demand her to do things or else she's like will not listen because of how stubborn she is, and I love that. Like, I love it when he's just like, get in the truck before I lose my, and I love it. Like, I love that he's not following her around with puppy dog eyes and just letting her speak to him however she wants. And I just love that. He has great character growth so far. Those are my thoughts right now. I am at 10 hours and 5 minutes right now, so hopefully I can maybe finish this book by today, but we will see because it is currently 6:30. Don't know yet, but again, eating it up, obsessed with this series so far. Yes. Okay, wait, I forgot to tell you guys that I was trying to set up a vibe in my room while I was reading this, and I wanted something to do with cowboys or horses. And I found nothing when I searched like cowboys or like horse movies on my Google Chromes, and then I tried Netflix. I ended up choosing Heartland, which I have no idea what it's about, but I've been playing it on my TV, but it's muted because I don't want to get distracted. And honestly, it's setting the perfect vibe. Obviously, because it has 16 seasons, I know it's pretty popular because I hear people talk about it all the time. Zero idea what it's about. Like, if you have watched the show or if you know anyone who's watched it, please comment below because I would love to know, like, is it a show that I need to start? Because it's giving me all of the perfect small town cowboy vibes. All I know so far from watching is there's this like one guy who is not a cowboy. He's like riding a motorcycle and is like not down with the horses. So very entertaining. Just wanted to give you guys an update about that. Swift and Saddled, like you guys saw. 6 hours and 10 minutes left, but I wanted to talk about this really quick. Absolutely loved this book. I actually liked it way better than Done and Dusted now that I think about it. I rated this a 4 stars, but let's just talk about Weston Ryder for a second. If acts of service was a human, it would be him. Like, this man was written by a woman. Everything that he did was just so sweet, and I was just so like with everything he did. Like, I loved him as a character. Ada, I didn't really care that much about, I'll be so honest. Wes really carried this book in my opinion. The epilogue was so sweet. I just love the found family aspect within this entire series. Like, I want to live in Rebel Blue and I want to experience Writer's Day so badly. I highly recommend if you guys are looking for a small town cowboy romance, something similar to Elsie Silver's, like I said, but oh my gosh, I absolutely loved this character. It's actually so funny that I'm saying if you want something similar to Elsie Silver's, because I've only ever read one book, which was Flawless. I still haven't finished Chestnut Spring series at all, so I definitely need to get through those. I just feel like the Rebel Blue series are easier to get through just because they're like a little bit smaller, but I will definitely get to the Chestnut Spring series this year. I know I will. So like I was saying, I have about 6 hours left within this challenge and I want something that's fast paced and is going to keep me on the edge of my seat. What genre is better at doing that than a thriller? I haven't read a thriller in a minute. I think the last one that I read was We Used to Live Here, which I was so scared of that book, you guys. If you guys haven't read it, I highly recommend if you guys enjoy thrillers or horror. Honestly, it wasn't a thriller, it was definitely a horror book for me, and I found that out real quick because I was actually scared and I had to put the book down multiple times when I was reading it at night. I wanted to pick a thriller that has been on my TBR for a really long time. I didn't want to just pick up a new thriller just because it was like a new release. So I've heard a lot of good things about Behind Closed Doors, so I think I'm going to be starting that. All I know so far about this book is that it follows a couple named Jack and Grace, and to everyone else they look like the perfect couple. But some people start questioning their relationship once they realize that Grace doesn't ever go anywhere without him and she can't ever leave the house without him, like meeting up for coffee or like going out and hanging out with some girlfriends. So obviously they start questioning like what is really going behind those doors. That's why it's called Behind Closed Doors, period. So we are going to be reading that and I'm very excited because people have raved and praised this book about how good it is. So I'm really excited to see what all the hype is about. Hi you guys, I just washed my hair. I'm waiting for it to blow dry so it looks a little bit crazy, but I wanted to give you guys an update on this book because it's kind of ridiculous. I am 43% through. Yesterday, I could not stop reading. Like, I didn't want to put this down, but I was getting so sleepy that I had to go to sleep because I was like, it's okay, I'll finish it tomorrow. Like, no big deal. I wanted to give you guys an update yesterday, but I was just so cozy in my bed, lights were off, you know the vibes. Anyway, what I don't like about this book so far, well, in any book, I don't like the whole flipping back from past to present. I don't know why I don't like it, but I just don't prefer that kind of storytelling. Just like tell me what happened and tell me where you are right now. Like, I don't like the back and forth, and that's exactly what this is. There are like no real chapters, it's just past and present. I will say the story is kind of predictable. Like, I don't know where we're gonna be at the end. Let me say that. But like, as we're following through the story, like, it's very predictable. Like, I knew what was gonna happen. And I don't want to give anything away because if you're gonna read this, I want you to, you know, go in blind like how I did. So I'm trying not to give away too many details because I love not knowing anything in thrillers, you know, and I want you guys to experience that too. My whole thing is I just don't get the point. Like, I don't know why things are happening the way they are. And I'm sure we'll get more info. Like, again, I'm only at 43%, right? So I'm just like, what is the point? Like, why are you choosing to do this? Oh my gosh, I don't want to give it away. Like, we got some backstory of why things are happening, but I don't understand why things are currently happening the way they are. Like, besides being a freaking maniac, okay, whatever. I will say the story is very addicting. Like, you are gonna want to keep tapping or flipping the page when you start this. Like, you're not gonna want to put it down. And I don't know why, because it's not like a crazy story, but it's just like, oh my gosh, like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, why? What? Why and what? That is what I've been feeling this whole time I've been reading. Why and what? Why and what? Yeah. honestly feel like I'm not that surprised right now with how the story is going because I've read stories that are similar to the plot. I just don't know how to describe it. Like, if you've read this book, please comment down below that you know like what I'm talking about, or am I like just freaking stupid that I don't know how to explain? I don't know. But yeah, that is where I'm at right now. I have 3 hours and 40 minutes left, and in my book, I believe it's pretty much the same. Yeah, I have 3 hours and 30 minutes left. So we're probably gonna end both at the same time, which is actually perfect. I go ahead and get some clips of this vlog exported, but I'm gonna read while it's all exported because I know it's gonna take a bit. So that is what we're gonna do in the meantime. Because why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? Anyway, catch you guys later. Before I start reviewing this book, I'm just so excited that I was able to finish the 24 hours of reading. It took way longer than I thought, to be honest. I didn't think it would take me consecutive days, but here we are, and it's okay. It's fine. This book, I'm going to stand by the fact that I said that it was very addicting, because it was. I was on my walking pad for over an hour and 30 minutes because I was trying to get through this book, but I was not bored. I was not bored for 1 second. It did not even feel like I was walking on there for an hour and 30. That's how addicting it was. However, I feel like I am a little bit disappointed with the ending, only because it was just so predictable to me. Like, I knew this was gonna happen. I'm still trying to think of a rating for this book. I'm gonna put it up on the screen of what I end up giving. It's not as crazy as people were saying that it was, to me at least. I feel like it is very similar to other thrillers that I've read, and maybe that's why. I know this book is pretty old. I feel like it came out, I think it came out in 2013. So this could be the blueprint of all the other thrillers that I've read. I have no idea. But because this isn't one of the first ones that I've read, it feels just very overdone to me, and I easily predicted what was going to happen. Yeah. I will say that I loved that it wasn't giving me anxiety. Like, I did not feel anxious. Typically when I'm reading thrillers, the ending makes me so anxious, but this didn't, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I do wish that these side characters played a bigger part in this story. For example, there's one character named Esther, and I wish she played a bigger role than she did. I will say I love how the timing worked out literally perfectly. Let's do a little recap of everything that we read. So the first book that we have is First Time Caller. I'm not going to go into too much detail just because I feel like I've talked about it way too much already. I don't know if I mentioned what the rating was, but I did end up giving this a 2.5, which I know is low, but I really was not enjoying my time, and this is a book I wish I DNF'd, but I didn't. I obviously read it all the way through. The second book that we read was Hooked, and I absolutely devoured it. I cannot believe I loved it as much as I did. Honestly, very shocking, and I'm pretty sure I gave that 4 stars. The third book that I read was Swift and Saddled, and I absolutely love this series. Like, I cannot wait until the third book, like I've said. This series is so captivating. I urge you to pick it up if you haven't already. I know I'm probably late to the game, but please pick it up because you will not be let down. And of course, the last one, Behind Closed Doors. You guys already know my thoughts about that. And that is where we end this video. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, please let me know, because honestly, this was so much fun. And I think I said this before, but this is my first reading challenge, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Leave a clock emoji if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys in my next one.